We are on the verge of a new era of medicine.
I am convinced that we are at an absolute crossroads.
The campaign has made it possible to make Mount Sinai one of the greatest hospitals and medical schools in the world. Because of your support.
Because of your support.
Because of your support.
We will experience the elimination of diseases through the application of genomic data.
We are closer to solving these devastating neurologic disorders.
We are on the verge of curing a number of really egregious cancers.
Lung cancer, prostate cancer,
Alzheimer's disease,
cancer,
stroke,
lymphoma,
depression, schizophrenia,
asthma,
addiction,
autism,
traumatic brain injury,
obesity and
spinal cord
diabetes,
injury,
cardiovascular diseases.
For the first time in history, we believe that we have the range of tools that are making it possible to answer questions about how the brain works.
We are particularly interested in what is happening in the brain that leads to cognitive decline and decline in memory.
We have established one of the best efforts in understanding the genetic underpinnings of schizophrenia.
What we do in my laboratory and in the center I run is to try and identify the causes of autism and use those to develop new treatments.
We can now predict with perfect accuracy who's going to get Alzheimer's disease.
We have to solve this problem. We don't have any choice.
Because of your support.
Because of your support,
we're going to be able to
recruit fabulous senior researchers.
Raise the caliber of our work to a level that we never could have achieved.
Build a school that now thinks very differently about medicine and healthcare.
Lead this revolution to better understand and treat the major diseases of our time.
We've begun to make breakthroughs that we didn't even envision 5 or 6 years ago.
We're on the verge of being able to see inside the tumor and figure out what's exactly wrong and then fixing it in a way that is comprehensive. Up till now, it's been a lot of guesswork, inference, subtlety that is useful, but in fact, sometimes is wrong.
These are very exciting times. In the field of children's health, we are now able to get to the bottom of what's causing some of the most pressing problems affecting infants, children, and teenagers that we've not been able to explore before.
Much of the current research that we are doing here at Mount Sinai Heart and our cath lab is changing the game in the field of cardiovascular science.
We have outstanding investigators that need the support to carry on their work in understanding the disease.
Mount Sinai stands for greatness. We've moved from a great regional hospital to a world-class academic medical center.
Mount Sinai stands for the future of medical care.
Mount Sinai stands for hope,
innovation, big ideas,
creativity,
progress.
Mount Sinai stands for being bold and for being avant-garde.
It's not hard to continue to do what you do on a regular basis and not change the world, not push the envelope, not think outside the box.
We can't use the old ways of delivering care and survive in the 21st century.
Precision medicine is our hope, especially through genomics, to be able to apply much earlier detection, much earlier treatment with the hopes of a much better outcome.
We can harness the power that's in each individual's personal genome to precisely predict what risk for disease this person would develop.
Prior to the capital campaign, Mount Sinai really had no presence in the genomics arena.
This institution was willing to make a substantial bet in genomics and data science for the betterment of medicine.
Together, we'll be able to conquer these diseases that continue to plague humanity.
Philanthropy propels you forward. It's that big burst of energy that allows you to think more creatively than anyone has before.
In science, the most innovative things are often not the most sure things.
Science is expensive, but nowhere near as expensive as the cost of disease.
Philanthropic support is critical to making the Dubin Center the center of the universe for our patients who are engaged in a battle for their lives.
Philanthropy is enabling us to look at new forms of diagnostics.
Your support is helping us to achieve our dreams.
When I think of the legacy of what we've accomplished through the capital campaign, what I dream about most is what we will look like 10 or 20 years from now.
For this, I thank you deeply.
And when people look back and say, what did we do, what did we accomplish?
Thank you so much for your incredible support for our programs.
I dream that they look back on what we've done and said they sent a foundation for changing the lives of many patients.
All the doctors here are unbelievably grateful for the opportunity to dream big dreams.
Thank you for enabling us to do things we'd otherwise have never been able to do.
The success we've had with the capital campaign makes me even more excited to move forward and achieve even greater levels of accomplishment.
Thank you, Ruttenberg family.
Thank you, Richard and Susan Friedman.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Glickenhaus.
Thank you, Mr. Charles Bronfman.
Thank you, Blavatsky family.
Thank you to Stephen and Alexandra Cohen.
Thank you, David and Julia Koch.
Thank you, Ruth Ward Coleman.
Thank you, Jean and Jim Crystal.
Thank you, Eva and Glenn Dubin.
A big thank you to the Coleman family.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Goldsmith.
Thank you, Sandy and Ruth Gottesman.
Thank you, Helmsley Charitable Trust.
Thank you, John and Susan Hess.
Thank you, Carl Icahn.
Thank you, Howard and Ellen Katz.
Thank you, Seaver Foundation.
Thank you, Fred Klingenstein.
Thank you, Lauder family.
Thank you, Santo Domingo family.
Thank you, Betty and John Levin.
Thank you, Lenny and Peter May.
Thank you, Eric and Stacy Mindich.
Thank you, Nash family.
Thank you, Janet and Orteros.
Thank you, Stephen Schwartz and the Brookdale Foundation.
Thank you, Jim and Meryl Tisch.
Thank you to Eric Waldman and the Geisman Foundation.
Thank you, Zina and Michael Wiener.
Thank you, Lisa and Jeff Palau.
Thank you, Deborah and Leon Black.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Aaron Krantz.
To Shelley and Stephen Einhorn, we say thank you.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Eisenberg.
Thank you, Ken and Bonnie.
Mwah. Thank you, Jane Martin and Stuart Katz.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Kravis.
Thank you, Richard Ravitch. Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Thank you so much to the Saul family.
Thank you, everyone who supported the campaign for Mount Sinai.
Thank you.